Okay guys, one last thing I wanted to show you. I know I've showed you a lot of modifications on the Impact. If I can get these lights, there we go. Here's my real Glock 17. But I will show you one last modification because if you remember, I showed you the high flow dual hole transfer ports, but I didn't have the proper piece, which I got the proper pieces. I've already done the 25 and the 30, but I saved one to do on video for you guys. I needed this piece additional to this because they're not separate anymore like apparently they used to be. So I'm gonna grab my 25 caliber barrel, 22 caliber barrel, and show you exactly how that gets done. Here is the 22, and you want to have something like I have on this vise, these rubber grips, so you don't do any damage to your barrels. These are rubber, and they protect the barrel from getting damaged while you're working on it, but they still clamp it down nice and tight. All right, so what you got to do is, while you're starting to take that off, you're going to heat this up. So I'm going to start up the heat gun, and I'm going to get something to turn that with. Probably a Skinny Phillips. One of these two. This is a 22, remember? That should actually do it. Let's see if I can get that in for this one. Just right across. Maybe like this, I can big slot one right across. That'll work. It didn't work if I held this way. And if that gun's got to heat up for a minute anyway. Alright, now this is threaded in. This is threaded in here on the newer ones. So if you go to order it, make sure you order that other piece as well. So I'm going to heat this up. And after it's a little warm, I'm going to start putting some tension on it. Oh, that one came out pretty easy. Alright, so once that starts coming out, just thread it out. And when you put the new piece in, I use my 277 red Loctite. You don't have to use such strong stuff, but I do my barrels once and I don't intend on changing them. So also I had a comment that my voice was kind of quiet in the videos, so I ordered a microphone kit for my phone so that hopefully you guys will be able to hear me better. In the meantime, I'm going to speak up, but by my next video I'll have that microphone. It's coming in tomorrow, so I'll make sure you guys are able to hear me. Alright, so I'm going to put a little bit of Loctite on here. Just a little line down the thread. And then this part gets threaded in right here. Slide it over that. Thread that in. And then that gets a little tight, so if you can't do it with your hand, I like to do it. I usually have this with shrink wrap on it, so actually I'm going to use lighter pliers like this. I think it once it gets seated over the barrel, because remember these pieces are tensioning inside. I have the carbon fiber sleeve in all three barrels, so this piece is tensioning that carbon fiber sleeve inside the inner barrel. So that's why it's such a thorough way to tension the barrel, because it tensions it at every point. And then I'm going to Loctite again on these threads where the transfer port is going to go. And if you notice, in comparison to the one I just removed, which I'll show you real quick. Okay, so the old one has the slug port, which this one is like 176% of the size, I believe. But on the back, there's another hole letting air out. This doesn't have that. So it's made a tremendous difference on the 30. I haven't shot the 25 since I put it on, but I imagine it's going to make a tremendous difference there as well. And the 22 is definitely going to make an immense difference. So I'm going to tighten this down. Okay, I don't need to go all that tight, because once that Loctite dries, that's going to lock it in better than anything I could do with a wrench. And essentially that's it. I just lubricate these gaskets, these O-rings, put some silicone oil on them, and then there's a small one on the inside, and you want to make sure that you have a seal. I use all pin probes, the slug pin probes on every caliber. I do have the pellet probes, but I don't use them. I have a whole stack of extra parts that I don't use. But maybe one day I will, or maybe one day somebody else will need them and I'll have them for them. Either way, I'll be happy either way. So that's it. I mean, and then this is the barrel is tensioned the same way that I showed you how to do the others. All of mine are. You see, this is just threaded on here. Same thing. So when you thread it all the way down onto there, and then you thread the shroud, you can force this tight into that clamp. So it works flawlessly. I'm going to show you briefly. Actually, I have a brand new scope on my gun. I'm testing a couple of different high-end scopes. I did the Burris XTR2, and then I also ordered the Vortex Venom PST second generation. So I'll show you how it was shooting with the Vortex Viper that I have, and I'm deciding whether, once I get the other one, I'll decide whether or not to keep it. But I'm gonna go back there and fire a few shots. You'll see one shot will be pretty far off, and then I'll zero it in. But those are the 3 shots from previous with the other scope that was already zeroed. But I should be able to zero it pretty quick. So I'll be just a second. the mishap. I couldn't tell where I was hitting, and I was having to judge by the sound of either the wood or the light metal or the heavy steel. And then I finally figured out where I was and got it zeroed in rather quick. And that's not, I haven't spent enough time to perfectly zero it, but you can see how quickly that I can get, 4 shots in that tight of a group, or 5 shots, whatever that was. And that's a pretty tight group for a brand new scope that I have never even started to use. I just barely mounted it. So I probably should have done that before I started the video, but I've been eager to get you guys the rest of this information, because it seems every time that I'm doing a video, I don't have all the parts. I don't have a way to complete the video, and I don't like to do that way. I like to give you guys all the information that I tell you I'm going to. So as soon as I get the parts, I do the video so that I can, finish doing as I promised. So that's that. So now you can see that's what you have to do if you want to do the larger port. And with foot per second, it's shown a dramatic increase. I have only tried the 30 caliber, even though I put in the 25. I'm gonna swap it out to the 25 tonight and try the velocity. Maybe I'll make a video of the velocity before and after I put the transfer port in, and should let you guys see the difference with that. But I'm sitting at my desk here to start uploading some videos for you. So you see I have a few pending that are almost uploaded, 25, 90%, and 60. So those are almost done, and then I'm gonna do this one, and maybe I'll do the velocities after that. Thank you very much, guys. And like I said, if you can't hear me clearly, hopefully you can. I'm trying to speak a little louder, but I have a microphone coming in tomorrow. Okay, so thank you guys for your time, and I hope that I was able to help you find new ways to modify your M3. Thank you.